What's up guys, welcome back to Unlimited Reads. My name is Chris and today I'll be giving my spoiler-free review of Headhunters by Mark Dawson, the 7th book in the John Milton thriller series, released in 2015, and let me say that this was a very satisfying conclusion to a 2-book story arc. Headhunters is the direct sequel of Salvation Row, and I did review that book last year on the channel. If you haven't caught the video, please do. And the only regret I have is not getting back to this series any sooner. I forgot how great the series was, and I really enjoyed this book. But before I go into the plot of Headhunters, I'll briefly recap Salvation Row for you. So, Milton comes to the aid of Isadora Bartholomew. She is a young woman in New Orleans who runs a charity where they rebuild the homes lost in Katrina. And unfortunately, the land that she's building on, a local real estate developer wants the land for himself, and I think he wants to put golf courses and a resort on that land, and Isadora isn't having a bar of it. So despite the bribes that the real estate developer makes to Isadora, she just puts up a fight because she believes in what she believes and believes that people deserve to live in a home where they want to. Now, after many attempts to coerce her into giving him the land or selling him the land, he resorts to calling in some outside help in the form of ex-Mossad agent Avi Bachman, who now goes by the name of Boone. The events lead up to a final confrontation between Milton and Bachman. They both knew of each other during a joint op between their respective intelligence agencies in Cairo. The op went wrong. Avi Bachman saw it as an opportunity to leave the Mossad and go off-grid, having them believe that he is dead, only to resurface later on. Milton barely defeats Bachman after copping a hell of a beating. It's only because of Isadora's interference that Bachman got momentarily distracted, where Milton got the upper hand and barely got out with his life. And as a result, Avi Bachman goes to prison in Louisiana, and the book closes out. In Headhunters, we see Milton is now in outback New South Wales helping out an old army friend Harry on his sheep station, and it's not long before the shit hits the fan and Milton, along with Harry's sister Matilda, get abducted, and they later learn that Bachman is behind the abduction, having broken out of Angola prison, and all he has on his mind is revenge against Milton for killing his wife. Only Milton didn't kill his wife in the last book. It was actually a stray bullet from Bachman's gun that actually killed his wife. Several times throughout the book, Milton tries to convince Bachman that he didn't kill his wife and it was the ricocheted bullet, but Bachman's having none of it. He is so hell-bent on revenge and full of fury that all he wants to do is kill Milton. So the pursuit begins after Maddie and Milton escape, and they escape to Broken Hill. Then they end up going to Adelaide and then Melbourne. I really enjoyed reading about the localities because some of the localities outside of Melbourne, like Melton and Gisborne, are less than 100 k's away from where I live, and the plot then ultimately moves to Israel and then on to Croatia, where Milton needs to draw upon all his experience and cunning in order to get the upper hand in the final confrontation with Avi Bachman. It's really interesting because in hand-to-hand combat, Milton just does not have the goods. Avi Bachman is the superior fighter, and it's up to Milton to hatch a plan to ultimately put Avi Bachman out of the picture permanently. We have a returning character, Ziggy. He is a hacker who helped Milton in the last book, and he now lives in Tokyo, but this time it's up to him to pull off the biggest hack of all time to convince the Mossad to stop aiding Bachman in achieving his goal. It's actually really genius in what happens there. I found the book very fast-paced, and it's been some months since I read Salvation Row, but this book just reiterates for me that I need to read more Milton books, and soon, which I plan on doing now. If you haven't picked up the series, please do. I guarantee you'll get hooked. John Milton as a character has so many layers as he tries to redeem himself from his past sins in helping others. I think it's great how Mark Dawson has made him human and real, and what I mean by that is he cops beatings in these books. He's not Superman, he's not invulnerable, he does have his limits and can get hurt, but you know, he can't win every fight, and I think that sort of realism to a character is very well done. And in this book in particular, because he struggles physically against Bachman, he has to rely on his intellect and cunning, and the way he goes about prevailing at the end is really, really good. Very, very satisfying. So that is it for my review of Headhunters. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, chuck some feedback in the comments below and I'll always respond to that. And until the next video, guys, I'll see you later.